long as the sound echo or feedback आए थोड़ा सा इसको कम करें. When you chant Shanti, 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 the three Shantis are to invoke peace from the cosmic forces, from the nearby people, and from within us. So the first Shanti should be loud. Om Shanti. Pause. Feel the peace. Then Shanti. Shanti. Can you feel the peace? How do we do? Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. कोई भावना ही नहीं है उसमें. Right? Must feel the peace. So try it. It's a timely reminder. All of you, look into your pockets and your purse. Switch off your phones, please. Today I have to take you through guided meditation. With one disturbance, I will not be able to do it. So let's try this. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. 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 And don't immediately take out your books. Wait for a minute. Experience the peace. But then, really speaking, these invocations are not just done mechanically. They're done with the right emotion, right bhavana. Now it was said that this truth, this reality, this Brahman, this Atma is something other than the known and the unknown. Other than the known, it is not an object that you can experience or even think and imagine. But since it is not known, we will understand that it is unknown. Therefore said it is other than known and unknown. Because it is not an objective knowledge. But the fact that we can see, we know we've got eyes. This type of knowledge, direct knowledge. And therefore, to recognize this consciousness, which never becomes an object, this seer which never becomes the seen. It is known through a very unique method, not by objectifying it. And in spite of us studying Vedanta, even after studying Kenopanishad, our tendency is, because we are so used to that type of knowledge, that we're trying to even objectify the very Atma, the very self. And that is the struggle, because we are so habituated to it, that we want to experience something. That's why people want to go for experiential meditation. Even the peace that you feel in your mind is only a relative peace. It is not that peace that passes all understanding. It is not that peace. It's the very nature of the Atma, the very nature of the self. Even when we quieten our mind, the joys that we feel is not that ananda or bliss. But it is the evidence of it. So, when it is said it is other than the known and the unknown, also meaning that it is other than the subtle vasanas which are unknown to us, the cause and the effect. Having said that, this knowledge being so subtle, it can only be known directly by a mind which is prepared, means the adhikari with all vivek, vairagya, shat sampatti, mumukshatvam. These have been elaborated upon. When there be such a student and there is a teacher who knows and knows the means of communication. So both Brahmanishta and Shrotriya. Then when we listen to the teacher guides our thought that every time we try to make a concept, the teacher blows the concept off. The scriptures also blows that concept off. And therefore the teacher wants, do not make a concept, do not be satisfied with just a verbal understanding of this knowledge. All words are only indicators. We delve on the meaning of it, not just to understand the meaning or the concept or the idea, but with that meaning, when we turn our mind's direction, these indicators show us the truth. When I say show, never as an object, because language also can only communicate the language of the notion, the concepts of duality only. Therefore, when we say see the truth, know the truth, we still think it as an object. Therefore, it is said it is other than the known and the unknown. Now, the best of student, having reflected, having thought over it, meditate on it, has realized and therefore says, I do not think that I know it well. Naham manye suvedeti. Nor do I think, don't think that I don't know it. I know it and I don't know it. And one who understands what I am saying knows it and does not know it, but knows the truth. So, after having pointed this out, some students who still did not get it, they want some means to recognize. Again, mind knowledge is that I have to recognize it as an object. So not to recognize it as an object, the teacher gives a form of contemplation. Generally people use the word meditation, subtle meditation. This is also subtle. So the best of student has gained the knowledge, but for those students who are a little less in that understanding, and there's nothing high or low about it, it depends where we are at any period of time. For them also there must be a means. So teacher points out a certain type of contemplation, observation, and from that leads us to this knowledge. And the great Rishi continues. I'm waiting for them to settle down. I must not hear a single phone now, because in this class I'll be very strict. The moment I hear a beep, I will have to tell such an unalert student to leave the class. And please don't feel offended, because there are other 100 people who might suffer. We had 2 nice days of no phones, don't take it for granted. Everybody sure they've switched off the phone? Last check. Otherwise, don't feel insulted. I'll pick you up in the class and I'll send you off. Gurudev would have never tolerated this kind of unalertness. And what alertness a student requires, you're going to be told now. Are you here only to get some theory? Or you want to realize the truth? And if you don't realize it, when the interaction of truth is going on, then when are you going to realize it? Afterwards on your own. No? So please settle down. If you don't know how to switch off your phone, please give it to your neighbor and they'll switch it off for you. Pratibodha viditam matam amritatvam hi vindate atmana vindate viryam vidyaya vindate mritam pratibodha viditam matam amritatvam hi vindate. One who in every thought can intuit it, recognize it, such a person indeed attains immortality. From where will we get that vitality? Atmana vindate viryam. From one's own self, from one's Atma, one attains viryam, one attains the vitality, the strength, the vigor. And vidyaya vindate amritam. And with knowledge attains immortality. Now this is a beautiful meditation given here, that this Atma, this consciousness can be recognized in each thought. When a thought takes place, say of an object, that this is a mic, when that thought takes place, that this is a mic, that thought is illumined by consciousness. I am aware of it. Therefore, thoughts which are inert, they come and go. In whose light are they illumined? So, pratibodham viditam. Know it shining in each thought. Recognize it in each thought. And one who can recognize this ever-present consciousness, amritam hi vindate. Such a person discovers or attains immortality. And one will say, well, from where am I going to get the strength? Start the journey. If you've seen the movie Quest, there's a beautiful dialogue in that, no? You start the journey, the path will unfold itself to you. At this moment you might think, this is impossible for me. I did not even understand half the things that were told. Somebody might be there who thinks like that. But the compassion of the Rishi is such that know that your practice of meditation itself is going to give you strength. Because as such, the Atma alone is the source of all strength in us. But when our minds are turned extrovert, we dissipate all that energy, and therefore we need vitamin pills to energize us. But the more you withdraw your mind from the external world, and the more you turn it, even at first, to recognize your thoughts, you find a great amount of vitality, energy, inspiration rising in you. So you wonder, but where will I get the inspiration? Where will I get the knowledge? So Atmana Vindate Viryam. The more you turn towards the self, the more you get the inspiration, the more you get the enthusiasm, the more you get the vitality, the more you get the strength and energy, the more you get the conviction. And all this meaning, no? Atmana Vindate Viryam. In Hanuman Chalisa, I have spoken about Veer also. No? That confidence you start getting. So Atmana Vindate Viryam. Because you'll say, where will I get this energy? Where will I get this capacity? Where will I get this ability? You just practice a little bit. As Gurudev would say, even failures in meditation are stepping stones to success. Don't despair. The more you try to gain this knowledge, the more contemplative you become, unique capacities arise in you. I'm not talking about these siddhis or powers. Unique capacities arise in you. So from within you itself, those powers to know, those powers to meditate, all this begins to rise. But Vidyaya Amritam Ashnute. You may have all the abilities and talents. Therefore remember Hanuman Chalisa now. Bala Buddhi Vidya Devo Mohi. So how do I get this buddhi? That in Gayatri Mantra Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. And which is that sun, that ever shining consciousness within. And the moment you turn towards this ever shining consciousness within, then Atmana Vindate Virya. You get that energy, you get that capacity within you. But Vidyaya Amritam Ashnute. It is only with knowledge that you can attain the eternal, infinite reality, and therefore that state of permanence, immortality, where there is no change, where there is no death. So Vidyaya Amritam Ashnute. So here the teacher with compassion has pointed out that recognize the presence of this consciousness in every thought. Now how do we do it? Tell me, what is in my hand right now? Spectacles, is it? Now when I remove this and I put this in my hand, what is on my hand? Huh? Spectacle cover. Then I take this and keep on my hand. What is there in my hand? Huh? Coaster, right? Now, when I remove this coaster from my hand, what is there in my hand? Hand is there, but what is there in my hand? Yeah, you'll say nothing, right? But you could see this coaster because of light, is it not? When I remove this coaster is not there, and I kept, say before that, the spectacles. You saw the spectacle only in light. And yet when I remove the spectacle, you said there is nothing. The all-pervading light in whose light you are seeing all these objects on my hand, including the hand that supports it. We do not notice that pure, all-pervading light. Is it not? Even though it is there. It is in that light we are seeing everything. But the light is taken for granted. And we cannot see the light. We can't recognize the light. Even though it is there. Even though we say it is in this light, we see everything. But when we remove the object, we say there is no light. So when the student is said it is other than the known, and where the senses and the mind cannot reach or they cannot know, one will think that it does not exist exactly like this. Because the all-pervading light cannot be seen. But when there is an object, that reflected light is recognized by you. And therefore, because of being able to see that object, which in darkness you cannot see. So if it was dark and I put this object, remove this object, would you be able to see it? So it is because of the light only you can see it. So even when the object is not there, light is present. But pure light you cannot see. Therefore, light is passing through space, but where there are no objects, can you see that light? It is there. But you, when in your astronaut suit, you are there. On you, when the light reflects, you can see the light. On the spacecraft, when the light reflects, you can see it. But light is nevertheless there. But all these all-pervading factors like space, we take it for granted. So it is light is present, but we can recognize light through its reflection on an object or a thought. And the fact that the thought is known, can you not recognize that there is an awareness, consciousness, which is illumining the thoughts? So you first shift your attention from the world of objects outside to start observing your thoughts. Said switch it off. We know you may have put it on silent, but some alarms will ring. Go on meditation. Take some theory. Go. That's it. Shift your attention from the world outside. Now just take a theory. Go. What can I say? Shift your thoughts and go and practice at home now. You say it's not my fault, but it's all of us here together. Shift your thoughts from the objects outside, bring it to your mind, And when your thoughts are, and your attention is only on the thoughts, by what is it that you are recognizing your thoughts? Shift your attention from the thoughts to that one who is observing that thought. And thoughts come and go. When the thought is there, you are conscious of it, you recognize its presence. And when the thoughts are fading away also, you recognize that the thoughts are not there. That consciousness which is aware of the thought and the absence of thought. Even the absence of thought you are aware of. Therefore, that which is known, the thoughts, its absence, which is unknown, both you are aware of. And this is what is to be recognized. So, Pratiboda Viditam Matam. This is how, for students who could not with direct knowledge recognize that the light which is everywhere, to them it was pointed out that with this manner you recognize. Therefore, meditation is not just repetition of a mantra. That's a japa. When you practice that regularly, you are able to spontaneously repeat a mantra. Now you will hear funny things. We have got mantra-less meditation, we got mantra meditation. You know, various things people talk about. Mantra are those mystical sound symbols which are found in the Veda, and then we have some in the Puranas also. Each verse in the Upanishad is a mantra. The Upanishadic mantras or Vedic mantras are mystical sound symbols with very deep meaning also. The sheer vibration of the mantra is helpful in quietening your mind. And as you quieten your mind and withdraw your mind from the external perception, you become aware of your thoughts. Even though day to day we are aware, but we don't really pay attention to our thoughts. So you become aware of your thoughts. But you see what happens with the thoughts? When random thoughts are there, suddenly you'll think, oh, I forgot to switch off the dryer or the washing machine and it's not on auto, the auto switch is gone. Now, even while you're sitting here, suddenly what happens? And you see, that husband of mine is never going to switch off anything. And children are even worse. And now the clothes will be wet, damp, and the whole place will be overflowing. Now see where your mind is going? And Brahman is gone. Or suddenly, that wedding is there tonight. Which clothes am I going to wear? So mind gets fascinated by those stuff and you identify and get carried with those thoughts. Therefore, you keep the same series of thoughts in your mind. This is helpful with japa. Therefore, we take one mantra, whether it can be an Upanishadic mantra, and don't say you're not being initiated into it. What is this? Itself is the highest initiation, not just know how to chant it, repeat it, but to even know the meaning and how to meditate on it. So, any of these mantras, when we repeat, otherwise we also have the small Ishta mantras like Om Namah Shivaya. When you repeat it, and when your mind just repeats only that mantra, and therefore the mind is not running random into different thoughts, it is easy to observe such a mind. Otherwise, in few seconds, our mind drifts away. So merely repetition of a mantra is called as japa. It is not really contemplation or meditation. But when you are doing the mantra itself gives you the meaning. It gives you the methodology, it gives you the technique also. When you say Om Namah Shivaya, Nama means I surrender. So any worries that come, surrender, 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 surrender. Any thoughts that come, surrender. Any anxiousness comes, surrender. Any excitement comes, surrender. So mantra itself is telling you what to do, and you're auto-suggesting your mind to do it. This is how mantra japa is helpful. The deeper meaning of the mantra is also showing you what is meditation. Thus, it is the duty of the teacher, we say initiation, not just give some mantra in the ears, but how to chant the mantra, how to understanding the meaning of the mantra, the methodology, as well as the meaning, what the mantra is indicating. All these mantras we are explaining like this only. But again, people think it is no Gayatri mantra. What is Gayatri mantra? It is from the Vedas only, Mahamrityunjay mantra. But specifically on mantras and how they work, we have brought out the CD on Gayatri mantra. We have got 2 books. One is on Ikonkar from the Guru Granth Sahib, which is also the Mool mantra, and the Mahamrityunjay mantra. Little bit you read also and try to understand. But when that mantra is being chanted, that thought is coming and going. When you see the thought, that thought has to be aware. It is bathed in your consciousness. It is illumined by your consciousness. Its absence is also illumined by your consciousness. And through this, keep shifting your attention to recognize this consciousness, which is not seen, just like light is not seen, but because of which you can see it. Therefore it was said, Yan manasana manute, yenahur mano matam, tadeva brahmatvam vidhi, nedam yadidam upaste. Which Upanishad was that? Good. So at least this is what you say. You got the mantra diksha. Kaun sa mantra bola? It used to happen like that. Funny thing, just to relax you a little bit. So when we were giving diksha, brahmachari diksha, so many brahmacharis were given their names, no? So that your name is basically what you live with. So it's constantly you remember that name. So therefore it's a mantra only, no? So when Gurudev was giving us our names, many people in their excitement would go down, bow down, take the yellow robes, and then come out and say, what was my name? So, this is how you intuit. And now, this section, even if this student has understood and realized, you realize or not? Now the teacher or Mother Shruti herself concludes, Iha chedve ditatha satyamasti nached iha vedin nached iha vedin mahati vinashti bhuteshu vichitya dhiraha pretyasma lokad amrita bhavanti. Now here, Mother Shruti herself or the Guru concludes by saying, Iha ched avedita. Iha means in this life, now, here. Not tomorrow. Because kal kya hoga, kisne jana? Who knows what can happen tomorrow? You do not know. You will not be able to reach here. I don't want to say the other thing. That's why before you go, take Mahamrityunjay mantra and go. Yeah. What will happen tomorrow? Who knows? And don't think that next life or in heaven I'm going to know. Iha ched avedita. If one knows what? This truth, this infinite reality, this Brahman. Iha ched avedita atha satyam asti. There is satyam, there is truth. But this word satya means there is fulfillment, there is happiness. So one attains fulfillment of human life. You remember when we started the introduction? Our uniqueness is what? That we've got the capacity to discriminate, we've got the capacity to gain knowledge. And only when we get knowledge, but which knowledge? If you get knowledge of the finite, you'll never be satisfied. And that's why we are always craving for more and more knowledge. But that knowledge, knowing which everything else is known. That knowledge which reveals to you the infinite. That knowledge alone can satisfy us. And that alone is the fulfillment of this human life. So Satyam Asti. Chalo. Some people say, what is this thing? No, I'm living now quite happily now. Very nicely I'm living now. I'm in a nice comfort zone. Why do I need this knowledge? But Kabir Das ji has said so beautifully, Dukh mein sumiran sab kare, sukh mein kare na koe, jo sukh mein sumiran kare, to dukh kahe ko. I don't think I need to translate, you all know Hindi. Everybody in doing suffering suddenly try to find answers to life's problems, etc. If we know that knowledge before these problems come, we will not be miserable. He says that if you don't know your na chet iha avedita mahati vinashti. If you do not know it here and now, then know it is mighty destruction. Means we have wasted our life. Mahati vinashti. Bhuteshu vichitya dhira. That wise one. Earlier it was said, Pretyasma lokar amrita bhavanti. It was said, And the same thing is repeated here. But there, one who giving up his identification with the objects as this is mine, and with these equipments as I, come to recognize the Atma, the Self. But the scriptures want to point out that when you recognize the Self, this Self which you thought is one creature, this consciousness which is beyond the mind, We're unconditioned by time and space itself is the infinite truth or reality, is Brahman. And knowledge is complete not only when I am the consciousness, but I am that one all-pervading consciousness which is the same consciousness in everyone. When we recognize that, then bhuteshu bhuteshu vichitya dhira, then one recognizes the same Atma in every one. And therefore the self in me is the self in everyone. Otherwise suddenly after this you go back to your wife and say, wife, you told me to go to the Upanishad class, I went. Acha, what did you realize? I am Brahman, Paramatma, bow down to you. Bow down to me. She will show you if you are Paramatma. Then I am Maya who can delude you. If I am Paramatma, then who are you? If I am infinite, how can you be separate from me or I be separate from you? And therefore this is the only knowledge by which true love can take place. I have to use the word true, unfortunately. True knowledge takes place. True love takes place. Because love means seeing yourself in everyone. Otherwise, even love is a favor done on other. And therefore we expect love out of love. But from yourself, do you expect love? You love yourself naturally. And such a person, pretyas malokat amrita bhavanti. And even after departing from this world, that person remains ever immortal, which means on the falling of the body also death does not take place. So pretyas malokat, here also meaning giving up the distinctions of and differences in the world, recognizing the one self, one Brahman in everyone. Such a person, amrita bhavanti. And here the word amrita has a different twist. Amrita we have seen is immortal, amrita, where there is no mrityu, there is no change, there is no death, so amrita bhavati. Amrita we have seen also means ananda bhavati, becomes ananda. And amrita also means sweetness, is it not? Becomes all loving, sweet. Adharam madhuram, vadanam madhuram. That person becomes the lover of the universe. And with love, whatever you do is sweet only. It is beneficial for everyone. So, amrita bhavanti, such a person becomes sweet. Beautiful conclusion. But here the Rishi says that one who knows it here, such a person has gained the final result. Satyamasti has attained the truth, means has become eternal, immortal, all that is said. But life is fulfilled, life is complete. But if here does not get it in this life now, then mahati vinashti. It is a great disaster. Shankaracharya in Vivek Chudamani points out that there are 84 lakh species. It's been said in our scripture, but it's not original Shankaracharya. It's not even species, geners. In that there are so many species also. 84,000. And this jiva does not have to go through all of them, but it many times goes through the same ones. Finally gets the human birth. Even with our basic scientific knowledge, that life to evolve from a unicellular animal to today this intelligent human being, how many billions of years it has taken in creation. Human beings came on this earth, according to modern scientists, only a few, just a million years ago, according to them. To having got this rare human birth and doing and gaining what animals get better than us, and that too also free of charge. And they don't even have to pay taxes. That's why I'm not scolding. And anyway, now it's not that bad. Many disturbance in there. Meditation, many disturbance aayega. But that also happens also. When only you sit and meditate, that time only all disturbances come, is it not? This Maya will never allow you to meditate. And today Maya's, we say, what is Maya? Mobile phones. Maya ही तो है, virtual reality it is. पूरे दिन उसके ऊपर लगे होते रहो. So after so many lifetimes we get this human birth, and in this human birth, if we have whatever we have achieved, therefore Shankaracharya says, Bhaju Govindam, Govindam Bhaju Mudamate, Samprapte Sannite Kale, Nahi Nahi Rakshati Dukran Karne. All that we've achieved, this education, this whole trying to make contacts with people, none of these friends are going to remain with you when you don't have any money or any parties to throw. Your own children at old age have no time for you. So when you think about it, what have we achieved? Therefore, Mahati Vinashti. And don't be very optimistic that after this life you're going to get a human life only. You may, but there's no guarantee. And and there are people who say, no, after human life you get human life only. Not because you belong to one particular group that you will get heaven eternally. The laws of nature is equal for everyone. Jaise Vikruti, Vaise Akruti. Having got a precious human life, and in that human life not fulfill the purpose of human life, we have wasted the human life. Do you think nature will waste another life on you? But at least those who are trying, those who are striving, those who are living a life of either dharma or seeking. Of course, the chances of them getting human life is there. But the next human life, you will get these opportunities. Already you're saying times are so bad, Swami, traffic is bad. Next life when you come after another 100, 200, 300, maybe 1,000 years, do you know how conditions will be, how bad? Whether we'll get this opportunity or not. Just think about it. What type of birth, whether you can even afford to go somewhere. So Mahati Vinashti, it's a big loss. You have to recognize what's the big loss. We don't recognize what we have lost. You know, when Gurudev used to himself go from city to city, town to town, such a great master, and of course people in thousands would attend. Yet today I meet so many people who have now come to listen. And when they listen and then they say that, I knew that Gurudev had come into town. I was a youngster then. I went only for one talk, or I never went. And now having gained this knowledge, they wonder, what our Guru must have been. You can intuit. And how many people lost that chance They didn't feel that they lost anything, but we know what they lost. No? So, do not waste this chance. And Shankaracharya says that even to get this human birth is rare. And that to also get in the house of those who are cultured, sattvic, good people, to give you a noble upbringing, education, etc., so that you can be a free thinker, you can make the choices in your life. You've got the purity of the culture. Mistakes over everything, the little sensuality comes in everybody, but you have that in you. Such a cultural upbringing and background. And I'm telling you, to be born in India, how we are abusing our culture, but still in the air that culture is there. We are brought up with these ideas. It's not alien to us. We may not directly realize it, but it's not alien to us. It's not totally foreign to us. It's not something that is out of, our even basic understanding. To have got that opportunity. And then Shankaracharya says, in that also, to be able to be under the wings of a Mahapurusha. See, you may come to any of us, but understand, the moment you come to listen to any one of us, you are under the protective wings of Gurudev and the entire Guru Parampara. To have got that, and then also not put in that little effort to realize the truth. Do you know what we have lost? Somebody has got 1 rupee and he loses it. It's a big deal for him. But that person had been, I'd once say, a lottery of billions of dollars, but did not check the newspaper and lost that lottery ticket. Can you imagine? And therefore, whenever in any stage of our life, the moment we hear even a little of this knowledge should remove all our regrets, but it creates one regret. Why did I not know it before? Haven't you all felt it? Then you look at your old family members, what are they missing out? You feel that. But that time they don't realize. But worse still is having gained it, having been inspired, having been given this knowledge, if we do not strive for it, Shankaracharya says such a person is a murderer. And murdered whom? Himself. So has committed suicide. Shankaracharya says in Victory, Mahati Vinashti. Now in a more hilarious note. Therefore, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Godamati. In the last portion of Guru Granth Sahib and Tegh Bahadur Sahib, when the, Kashmiri Brahmins who are being tortured and converted, wrote to Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib, please protect us. And he told the Mughals that if you can convert me, all the Hindus will convert. Finally, they took him to the gallows to chop off his head. And before that, one night before, he is given almost Bhaja Govindam there. And he says, same way, Guna Govinda Gayo Nahi Janama Akarat Ki. That if in this life you have not attained the Supreme, Govinda itself means one who is the substratum of this universe, or one who is the protector of this universe. If you have not turned your mind towards that, you have wasted your entire life. nobody and nothing is going to go with you. Only, as in the Gita it says, whatever sadhana you have done, whatever knowledge you have gained, whatever bhakti and vairagya you have developed, that will take you to the next life to start off from where you have left behind. But even while you are here, if you've lost it, it's still. One place I was giving discourses, and one lady, she came up to me and said, Swamiji, will you come to my house? I will make you lunch. So I said, I am a sadhu. Whatever people give me to eat, I eat. So yes, I have to eat. So if you give me food, I will come. Not that I'll come to your house only if you give me food. But I will come. So she said, then Swamiji, today only come with me. घर में कुछ बना हो क्या खिचड़ी विचड़ी बनी होगी चले. I said, no, sorry to say, I would have loved to come, but there is a whole line of people already because there are so many people here. They have already booked their bhikshas. So you please find out from the whoever the organized so and so person, go and ask that person, and I'm sure there will be some slot available. I'm new to this place, some slot will be available, you go take that slot. So she went there, immediately booked a bhiksha and said, on Wednesday afternoon, and Swamiji, from the morning when I come for the morning classes, I'll take you then only, come to my house there only. Now that I had said I'll come, now I couldn't say no. So I said, okay. So she said, I'll come and pick you up. So that day she came only at the end of the class. And she said, let's go. So I went and sat in her car. So she was talking to me, very sweet lady that way, quite nice, but very chatty. And then chatty to acha lagta hai. Very chatty, she was chatting away and then she was telling, Swamiji, I heard, and I don't know what they heard really speaking, I don't know. I heard you like this. I said, listen, I have no likes or dislikes. I like everything or I don't like anything. No, they told me you like this and this food only. I made all the variety of food. I found out from 4 or 5 people because anybody's house you go, Amma, you made the food very nice. Swamiji likes my this only. Swamiji likes my this only. Gurudev had warned, never tell anybody I like. But then you don't say that, Swamiji, you didn't like our food. Should you have made something else? I know you don't like this, but you like that. You are fussophied. You have to say you like something. And if you say like something, everywhere you will get that same thing. So don't think we are so foolish to tell anyone what we actually like. So she said, I made all these things for you, Swamiji. I said, oh, very nice, thank you. What to say? Why to tell her that, no, I don't like it, but I like everything. So I said, why should I tell it? So I said, okay, theek hai, very nice, sir. But she said, Swamiji, I've called you home, no? I want you to do something for me. I said, I know, sadhu ko bhi koi phukat se nahi khilata. You have to sing for your supper. So I said, I know, nobody gives free food in any case. So tell me, you have a teenager who have to convince to study and concentrate or what? They said, no, my children are very good, Swamiji. So I said, what's your problem? Like that, no problem, Swamiji, everything, life is very nice, very nice. So I said, then what is your problem that you want me to solve? She said, my husband. So I said, whose problem is not their husband? You please tell me. Husband जो हंसी बंद करा दे, या जिसकी हंसी बंद हो गई होगी, whichever way you say, उत्पत्ति दोनों होती है. So I said, whose problem is not their husband? She said, no, Swamiji, it's not like that. He's a very nice man. He's very educated. He provides very well everything. But he's got one addiction. Now, I said, men have got too many addictions. Your husband has got one addiction. Accept it, no. She said, no, Swamiji, you have to stop this addiction. Only you can do it. I've heard so many people, but I think you can only do it. I said, thank you for that confidence in me. And now I'm thinking, if I don't do it, so ye bhi Mahatma kuch nahi hai. So I just said, okay, tell me. But Swamiji, don't tell anybody, huh? You don't tell anybody. I said, listen, all my examples are real life examples. I will not take your name. But if there is something that I can learn from and others can learn from, I will tell. But Swamiji, you promised, don't tell anybody, huh? I said, I told you I will not tell anybody. I never tell anybody's private things to anybody. So if you want to tell me, you tell me. But Swamiji, don't laugh, huh? I said, too many conditions. Now you want to tell me, you tell me. I was also getting restless. We also don't have time. So finally I told her, tell me. And she said, Swamiji, that is very nice, but he's got this very bad habit. He wants curds every day, every meal. So I asked her, did you marry a South Indian? Because Tamilians, every meal they require curd. With Tahir Sadam, without Tahir Sadam, their food is not complete. Santushtam, Satyam Asti. If you had Tahir Sadam, you can go to a 5-star hotel, but if you have not served curd rice to a Tamilian, you may have paid a bill of 10,000 rupees, but no Santushtam. So I said, she said, no, he's not South Indian. So I said, but what's wrong in eating curds? No, Swamiji, every meal he wants curds, every meal. And one day if there is no curd in the meal, or it's not settled, or I forgot it, or I've not been able to, he will shout, but he will not eat food till he gets curds. Swamiji, you have to stop him. Now I went to the house. What a thorough gentleman that man was. And we talked about many things. He was very knowledgeable. But she wouldn't serve the food from there only. Now you see, I saw this, I smelled cigarette and I said, oh, there's someone who smokes here. Cigarette smoking is bad for health. Or if I saw a bar there with these wine bottles or something, and I said, oh, you drink, you'll get cirrhosis of the liver. I can say something, how do you tell someone don't eat curds? And look at me and say, none of your business. How do you tell someone that? I was finding it very awkward, but she kept on saying, tell. Finally, he only looked at me with full compassion that I had come from morning. I have not even eaten breakfast. Lunch she's still not serving. We are sitting and chatting. And Swamiji has spoken. He must be so hungry because speaking for 1.5 hours is like jogging for 10 miles. So, why did you serve me? Very reluctant, she put the food on the table. Then also she's not calling. Finally, he only told me, come sit on the table. And when I'm sitting on the table, she comes. And I didn't know how to say it. But wisdom comes naturally to women. Men have to learn it from books. It's a compliment, nobody's clapping. And it's not my dialogue, it's Kalidas's dialogue. So men don't feel offended. So she brings a glass of milk and keeps in front of me. Now even I don't drink milk along with food. But milk, Swamiji, milk. And then she pinches me from behind. Even in college, no girl dared to even touch me. Even that time I had my presence. And here I got a pinch. I said, thank God I'm not married. What these husbands must be getting. She pinches me. Pull. I got a chance. I said, इनके लिए दूध? तो he said, मेरा दही कहाँ है? So I got a chance. आप दूध नहीं पीते? मेरा दही लाओ. And she screamed and went, हाँ सारे टाइम दही सिर्फ दही चाहिए. कभी दूध पीगे नहीं. And she went from there. So I said, आप क्यों दही रोज खाते हैं? Why do you eat yogurt every day? So he said, Swamiji, आप पुनर्जन्म में विश्वास करते हो कि नहीं? Do you believe in rebirth? I said, oh my God, food has finally come. And that's the time only they'll say, Swamiji, I've got a question. Swamiji, we take a photograph. So you put the अरे ठीक से खाने तो दो. Finally, I've got food in front of me. I just said, I have no belief, sir. You believe in it? So he said, yes. You teach the Gita, no? In Gita it is said, no? So I said, yes, it is said. So I said, so what's the point? He said, see, there's no guarantee, no? That you can get only a human birth. You can be born as a bull. You could be born as a dog. You could be born as a pig. You could be born as a donkey. I said, chances are good. So he said, I could be born as any of these, is it not? So I said, so? He said, all those lives, I can get milk or not? But only in this human life I can enjoy curds. I tell you, I did namaskar to this man. Iha ched avitra satyam asti. In human life, do that which you can't get in other lives. I don't mean eat curds. Huh? Now you know why South Indians are so intelligent? Therefore, in this life, having got all this opportunity, realize, which means what you learned today only. If you didn't get it in class, meditate so that when you come tomorrow, if that meditation also you were not able to glimpse it, then our compassionate Rishi, the compassionate Guru of the Upanishad, he teaches us another beautiful method of meditation that even a child can do it. At the same time, it communicates what was already said. And beautiful here. In this Upanishad only you find the seed of all our Puranas and epics. And then you will see that what we are doing in the evening session is not some casual session of some motivation or devotional stories of Hanumanji. But we are able to give the deeper meaning of it is because of Kenopanishad. And how to decipher that code that we are doing for you in Hanuman Chalisa. The root is in Kenopanishad. So we'll see it tomorrow. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Before we conclude, just 2 more minutes. Tomorrow also we will tell you. I think most of you present here do attend our regular study groups or our Swamiji's classes, etc., satsangs, etc. If you are not, I will request you that today only go give your name, and from this week only start any study group is in your area, or go to the center for satsang with studying some text, and over the week as you go on studying once a week, more and more abidance in this knowledge will take place. So you are lucky, you have a center here, you have a stationed Swamiji here, plus you've got some very dedicated devotees of the mission who have learned and they themselves want to share. So all these classes are going on, classes for children, especially Bal Vihar, children, grandchildren. Even if you have to force, you must do it. You force them to go to school. So where's the question of it? Once they come, they'll enjoy so much. Bal Vihar, in our teenage classes, Junior Yuva Kendra, send your children. I'm so happy to see that in Calcutta, so many classes are running, and that is really speaking the foundation that Chinmaya Mission gives. Tomorrow I'll tell you about all other activities. For those of you who want to make also a study at home, there's lesson courses available from our Chinmaya International Foundation. There's a postal lesson course also for those who are not computer savvy, but most of you now are. You will get lesson every fortnight. You answer it, you send it, and that way you also know that your knowledge is clear. So there is the Foundation Vedanta course, there is the Advanced Vedanta course, and there is also the Gita course that none other than Guruji has made, and another Upanishad course is coming out. And along with these 4 courses, there is one very important course which was created, and that is called as Make It Happen. That all these ideologies, how do you, so it is good for students, it's good for a family, it's good for an institution, it can be used in the, business world, corporate world, in your profession, but most of all, it was always made for your spiritual development. Every year, I personally take 1 week training for this Make It Happen. And amazing is the results, whether spiritually or even materially. That whatever goals, and to be clear of how to set our spiritual as well as our material goals. And we cannot deny Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, all 4 we want. So how we can attain it? Online it is available, but once a year in June at our CRS, I do conduct this Make It Happen course. And besides that, as you know, Guruji stopped traveling abroad. He has various camps in Vibhuti, Uttarkashi, as well as Siddhbari. Find out about these camps, make an opportunity to go. Next year, personally, I will be conducting the camp. It's 25th anniversary of, Gurudev's Mahasamadhi. So in Uttarkashi, where at the feet of Taponji Maharaj, Gurudev gained this knowledge, I will be taking a camp in October at Uttarkashi. Do come, so that there is morning meditation also. There is learning of the Upanishads. I'm going to be taking Tapon Shatkam, which is summary of 6 Upanishads. There are 3 more, but 6 verses, 6 Upanishads, complete summary is there. So you'll get a complete idea of all the meditations from the Upanishads. So these are various seva that mission is doing. Take opportunity of it. Sometimes you may know it only from our Tapon Prasad magazine. Please subscribe for that magazine. It's on the web, also internet. You can always go to Central Chinmaya Mission Trust and find out. So these are various opportunities available. There are many other seva projects I will tell you briefly tomorrow, but this much for